Welcome to this breaking news broadcast with me, Spiral. South Africa's conservation success story and broader wildlife economy are being held hostage by the HUMANE Society International Africa, who has brought an urgent application in the Western Cape High Court against the National Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. HSI wished to have the allocated hunting and export quota for 2022 revoked. Stay tuned for more of the latest twists and turns regarding this breaking news broadcast. Following the advice of the Scientific Authority of South Africa, the Minister, Barbara Creecy, recently published the delayed hunting and export quota for elephant, black rhino and leopard for the 2022 calendar year. This announcement was welcomed by the industry as it allowed time to do meaningful planning, preparation and marketing. However, a member of the global activist group that opposes all hunting has launched an urgent court application to have this quota set aside. HSI's stance is an attack on all forms of wildlife management, as the intended outcome of this first step is a totalitarian ban on all forms of hunting within South Africa. This lopsided protection of special interest animals will also mean that some animals will be afforded more protection than others. I wonder if HSI will champion for the rights of all wildlife and prevent intra-species violence or predation. Or is this an example of George Orwell's Animal Farm, where all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others? Furthermore, HSI's attack is an assault on the private property rights of game ranchers and private reserves, as this quota strictly prohibits the harvesting of any animals in protected areas. This willful disregard for the rights of our game ranchers and hunters to positively manage and conserve wildlife for the benefit of our people is totally unacceptable. The meaningful and successful conservation of our wildlife through private wildlife adaptive management methods is in complete contrast to the constrained protected areas in South Africa and the narrow-minded ideology of negatively protecting wildlife at the expense of our people. In essence, HSI is aiming to destroy the green economy and punish South African game ranchers for their success in sustainable conservation and positive growth of their wildlife populations, potentially jeopardizing 20 million hectares of privately owned conservation habitat, which is 1.5 times the size of England. We are convinced that this court action is part of HSI's strategy to gain publicity and grow their substantial coffers at the expense of meaningful conservation and to the detriment of our rural people. HSI, along with their fellow big international NGOs, or bingos as I like to call them, are financially exploiting the emotional empathy and care of animal lovers by misrepresenting the truth regarding the reality of responsible wildlife management. These few bingos netted over 3.5 billion rand in 2018 alone. I wonder how much of this income ever made it to wildlife or local communities living with wildlife. Googling HSI on the web, the top ranking results takes browsers directly to a donation page. Apparently, they, like other bingos, put income before information and education. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and exploitation is their game-o. Wildlife Ranching South Africa endeavours to keep a close eye on the proceedings between HSI and the Minister and will respond as needed to protect the rights and interests of our members, our associates and all South Africans. We have already assembled top legal counsel and advocates from around the country to advise during this onslaught on our rural communities, our game ranchers, and our hunting heritage. We'd like to thank the Sustainable Use Coalition of Southern Africa for their support to oppose this activist movement and encourage members and citizens to support them as they stand with WRSA on the front lines. Remember folks, the truly green activists of the world are the ones who provide land, care, and protection by spending their own resources so that wildlife can not only survive, but thrive. Red activists, on the other hand, are the ones who prevent wildlife populations from thriving through bans on trade and other income-generating activities that are crucial to the support and sustaining the long-term survival of our wildlife. If you are as passionate about our industry as I am, join this movement and say no to the red assault. Thank you for listening to this important broadcast. This is Spiral signing out and promising to keep my ears turned for further developments. Until next time, stay safe. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and exploitation is the game-o.